So let's create our Hello World application. The documentation on how to do stuff with Node WebKit is available here on documentation. Since I'm going to walk you through how I do the stuff and maybe pick some stuff from the documentation, but like if you want to know something I don't cover or you want to read more about it, it's good to know that documentation is available here. So we wanted this NWJS to load our custom HTML code. Okay, so to do this, the easiest way is to create a package.nv, which is like a folder where we put our code. This needs to have a package.json, which is maybe familiar for you if you earlier have worked with NPM, like Node and NPM and stuff. Like you can learn more if you take courses on Node or NPM or just Google the subject. Here is important that you show the file extension in Windows, because otherwise you will create a file called package.json.txt, and that wouldn't work because Windows will hide that it's a txt file for you. I have done that change already, but if you would need to do this on your computer, you should go to Options, View, Hide extensions for known file types. This is the thing here. Now it doesn't show this as a JSON file. We do not want hide extensions for known file types. This is default in Windows, and it's a very bad setting for developers because you don't really see what files you're working with. So don't use the hide extensions for known file types. Now we have our package JSON here. Let's open it. And I'm using Microsoft Visual Studio Code for my text editing. You can use whatever text editor you like. You don't need any particular text editor, but I'm using this one. It's available like VS Code. Code.visualstudio.com if you want to download it and use it yourself, or just pick whatever text editor you like. So now we have created our package JSON, and we want to put some code into it. So I could write it, but just let's go with a getting started code here as an example, because that goes even faster than me writing it. So this basically says our application's name is Hello World, and the main file that we want to run, the index.html file, is called this. Because, should we call it? We can just call it Hello World. I think that's a very nice name. Okay, let's then go here and create this Hello World file. So this is like a manifest file that points and says how NWJS should start up and what it should load. Then we also need like an actual file to run. So the prerequisite for this is that you should have some basic knowledge of HTML. Like if you don't have it already, you can take a small course on that, but many people in IT have at least some basic knowledge of HTML, so it's an assumption for this course that you know HTML, and if you don't, you have to go look it up somewhere else, because I can't explain everything in this course. So here we have the index.html. Let's open it in our text editor and write some demo application. Let's see here, open folder. I put everything on the desktop for ease of viewing the course. And now we have our index.html file here. We put an HTML tag, which is the main part of an HTML, and then let's type hello world, and we put it in like heading 3, like we want it to be big. Let's put like HR, like not like it's a beautiful tag, but just to show we can put whatever HTML we want here. And we can put a link here, like what should we do? We put a link to Google. We put a link to NWJS, of course, NWJS. NWJS.io. This application is made with NWJS.io. That's a cool application. Okay, so now if everything goes well, it should NWJS should start the package.json and it should load the indexed HTML file. Okay. And here we have our application. Hello world, this application is made with NWJS.io. We have made our HTML code into a small Windows application. Wow. If you add, you can make a way more complicated HTML and JavaScript add and load the same way. So if you already have made your HTML and JavaScript app, you can just package it into this folder in this way, and it will like be a very fast way to make a desktop application for it. The recommendation is, if you want a really fast application, it's good to use a single page application framework like React or similar, or AngularJS, but this is not necessary. You can also just build your desktop application with several different HTML pages that you link to each other, and since it's loading from your local computer, it's going to load quite fast even if it's not a single page application.